And from there it was due east, 60 kilometers along the 19th parallel. We decided to try and make up time by pushing on and doing 45 kilometers, and unfortunately one of the horses, Nyasa, decided to try and go home. So she went 2.5 k's back along the cut line before we caught her, so that added 5 kilometers to the day. So in total I think we rode 50 kilometers that day. But we were rewarded with a pack of 5 wild dogs on the cut line. And then we had our first camp in amongst the teak trees, the first teak trees as we were going northwards. And then from there it was another 15 kilometers before we turned north, and it was extraordinary because the horses were really dragging their feet going eastwards, but as we turned north they suddenly got lively, picked up the pace, as though they either were confused in the direction they were going and were thinking they were going home, or they just had decided, okay, we're not going home, let's just get on with this and get to Kasani as soon as possible. And we spent that night camped on the cut line opposite the Chinamba Hills, which unfortunately we couldn't see because of the vegetation. And that night we were rewarded with the most beautiful sighting of a brown hyena, very curious, very relaxed brown hyena coming and sniffing around close to the camp. And you know, that was, we'd had 3 nights I think of spotted hyenas, and now suddenly to see the brown hyena was absolutely fabulous. Then continued northwards the next day and reached the edge of the Makalelo Forest Reserve and onto Poha Gate, where we camped 3 kilometers just to the south of the gate. This is where we were able to get water, and we decided to have a rest day there so that everybody could go and visit the national park, this very remote area of the Chobe National Park, very little visited, huge pans, and you know, very spectacular water holes.
So we made it up to the southern boundary of the Chobe National Park, which is the 19th parallel, exactly 19 degrees south. We arrived just as the sun was setting, put up camp quickly, and had a pretty exciting night with 6 or 7 hyenas and a herd of buffalo around camp. We're now heading due east for 60 kilometers along this cut line. Off they go down the 19th parallel. And a number of new birds on the list this morning. Coqui Franklin. We had a striped kingfisher and purple roller in this beautiful golden teak woodland. This is our camp. Unfortunately, the mogongo stands of mogongo trees that we found, a lot of them are like this, dead, ring-barked by the pressure from elephants. There's Carl Mack, just getting ready in his tent, and there, in that little tent is a bird identifier. And this is our camp for the night. James made roast chicken on his shift. So excited for lunch. Us boys have to, 3 boys have to pack up camp, and then we need to try and turn this very sparse grass into 8 hay sacks. Wild bulbs. After 30 k's along the cut line, we came across our first Zambezi teak trees, and also our first mongongo trees. Very important food source for the sand bushmen, the nuts.
Cup of tea, coffee, David?
Oh, I'll tell you what, coffee.
Did you bring my luxury chair?
Done.
Yeah. There you go. David. So this is we had our 7th day of our expedition today. We all had a troubled night last night because we had a clan of hyena. Yeah, really just pushing in last night, trying to work an angle. And so yeah, the night shift was busy. Got up this morning and we were looking out over the Mbabe Depression, looking west. We took the opportunity to fill up some hay sacks, get camp set up. We have not stopped all day, and we've now driven 45 kilometers east, and such a change in environment. We've gone from grassland into this thick woodland, and highlight of the day was a pack of 5 wild dogs just parked on the edge of the 19th parallel. And then this evening we're now actually in Mogongo and Zambezi Teak Miombo woodland, and looking forward to eating some roasted Mogongo nuts.
So today we continue along the 19th parallel eastwards for another 23 kilometers before we'll take a sharp turn northwards, heading north to Kasane. Yesterday we did really well. We managed 45 kilometers and ended up with a lovely campsite in amongst the teak woodland. We had our first horse incident when Nyasa decided she was going to go home, and so she trotted off back down westwards, and we only caught her after 2.5 kilometers. Of course, added an extra 5 kilometers to our journey. But we were rewarded about an hour later with a pack of 5 wild dogs resting up in the shade on the edge of this straight cut line. So after 24 Ks this morning, who would have thought that a junction where we turn left would be the highlight of our morning.
What you up to there, John? Got Charm going under the tarpaulin. Got a Devon baboon in the tree. Morning, this is camp. We're in the 25 Ks north of the 19th parallel.
People were hardier and the animals were hardier in those days.
What are you saying?
Saying you're not hard enough.
Look at all those wax bills on the left. Violet wax bills.
This is what we were looking for. First of this hands in the hand system that John had spotted on one of his apps.
Pan after pan that we arrive at. 2 hours of walking. All dry. Hopefully we find water soon. Into another pan. Yet again, another drop to drink. Amazing leadwood. 1, 2, 3, 4 leadwoods in it. 1 deadwood. pretty harsh out there. Sun's just baking us. We'll find water soon for our fish, don't worry. Keep your head up, chin up, old charm. Something big died here. It's a huge buffalo horn, eh? Beautiful setting. Leadwoods. Very deep pan, but a month too late. Right? No? Did the horses react? Yet another dry waterhole. Beautiful though. Can imagine this being spectacular after the rain.
Check as many as they are coming in, they are going out, they're coming
Yeah.
in. Noise in that
We
sparrowhawk flies in
10
here.
minutes from Poha Gate. Look at that eagle right there. Boom. You can just see that little black dot in the middle there. It's a lion, where a lion's head. Got some lion here. More lion there. Digrostacus. Chinese mountain bush. Just the pure stands. Incredible. Sunset there in his home in Africa. There's a roan antelope over there, you can just see the roan. And then just over there you can see the buffalo. There's the buffalo. Looking out at something. And then over there, some sandgrass coming down. There. And then over there's an elephant bull feeding. What a great evening it died. Look at these two having a drink together. Always a special evening.